Civil rights, how well are they respected in Russian society? In the interview, Ludmila Alexeyeva, Moscow-Helsinki Group Chairwoman.
Ludmila Alexeyeva, you've been active in the human rights movement in Russia and the Soviet Union for 4 decades. Now you've been awarded the European Parliament's Sakharov Prize for 2009. What does this award mean to you?
For our group and for me personally, it's very important. I don't think there's anyone in the world whom I respected and admired more than Andrei Sakharov. I knew him personally, and together we founded the human rights movement in the Soviet Union.
But isn't the prize merely symbolic? How can it help your work?
Of course, it's a symbolic gesture. And I know why the European Parliament awarded this year's prize to Russian human rights activists. It has to do with the large number of murders involving rights activists in Russia. And the number is increasing at an alarming rate. Those who were killed were not merely our colleagues. They were friends. And people who shared our beliefs. But they're gone now, and we have accepted the prize on their behalf. So it's clear to me that this prize, which bears the name of Andrei Sakharov, was awarded in connection with the tragic deaths of our colleagues.
Can't the government do a better job of protecting civil rights activists? Or don't the authorities really want to protect them?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. To be honest, I can't imagine what the state could do to protect us. Particularly since members of the security services are often involved in these murders. I certainly don't want to imply that the Kremlin is directly involved. Absolutely not. But the way the power structure is set up, people at various levels within that structure have access to weapons. And they have the ways and means to organize a murder. They belong to the Russian power structures, the Federal Security Service, the local police, the prosecutor's office, and so forth. Somewhere along the chain of command, someone makes a decision that a certain person's activities, say criticizing the authorities, is causing trouble. But we rights activists use only peaceful means, as a matter of principle.
You know President Dmitry Medvedev personally. In a recent speech, he promised once again that more democratic reforms would be implemented. Was that just a lot of talk?
Yes, at least so far. I would be very happy if these words were matched by deeds.
They haven't yet.
No, not yet.
Is President Medvedev unwilling or unable to bring about change in Russia?
I don't know him well enough to say. On the one hand, when he talks about democracy, human rights, and the rule of law in Russia, it sounds sincere and convincing. On the other, Vladimir Putin chose Medvedev to succeed him as president. We shouldn't pretend that Medvedev was chosen by average Russians. Putin and Medvedev have worked together for 17 years, and Putin chose him as his successor because he knew that Medvedev would work to preserve the system that Putin had created.
Most people in Russia believe that it's not President Medvedev, but Prime Minister Putin who is actually running the country. What's your view?
I don't know. And the reason for that is that the people of our country have so little opportunity to participate in government that they don't bother with questions like this. When we discuss things, we don't talk about issues like those. There is such a huge divide between those who are in power and the rest of society. People live their lives. I do too. And I don't often think about what the people at the top are doing. But I find what they do is absolutely appalling. Still, I do think that a great future is in store for my country. Because our civil society will continue to develop and become ever stronger, despite a great number of challenges. This society began to develop after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and I certainly hope it will continue to develop. Those in power can only keep people under control as long as the people allow it. In countries where civil societies are strong, the system must respect the opinions and the rights of the people. That's why I find it much more exciting to follow what's going on in society, not what goes on in the Kremlin. We shouldn't pay so much attention to what those people are doing. We should focus instead on developing our civil society to the point where it can force the authorities to respect people and to have respect for their rights and freedoms.
Where do you get the courage and motivation to continue your work?
Well, I've been doing this for more than 40 years. I started when the Soviet Union still existed. Russia was a different place back then. It was, on the one hand, easier than it is today, but also more difficult. And by difficult, I mean that if you were a civil rights activist, you knew you would be punished by the state. You see, I've lived through a lot, and I wouldn't want to go through a lot of it again. But it wasn't absolutely awful. We can't choose where and when we're going to be born. But we do have control over how we live our lives. I've lived my life honestly, and I hope that in the time I have left, I can continue to do that. So I'm not worried, and I'm doing fine. But unfortunately, my country has some serious problems. I truly do hope that this will change, and I firmly believe that it will.
Ludmila Alexeyeva, thank you, and congratulations once again on the Sakharov Prize.
Спасибо.